Okay, hey, we just want to welcome everybody into the Bethany Broncos Coaches Show. John Hickman, John Campbell, live from Smoothie King, Southwest 3rd and Reno, right by I-40, MacArthur, all that good stuff. Is it really Reno? Why am I saying Reno?
I don't know. It's MacArthur and 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's all right there. There's a bunch of restaurants over here, but we are in Smoothie King. Come see us. We're live from 6 to 7 here, 6-7X. So we got some players here. We got some coaches here. John Campbell was just talking about last Thursday night's game between us and Hera, and then the playoff implications with that loss. And then coming up Thursday night, we have a big matchup with Ardmore. So maybe give a quick refresher since we were off the air.
Okay. So Hera ended up pulling out one at the end, and they won 45-43. It was a really good game. It was a close game. They were actually up by a little bit more, and then Bethany got an interception into the end zone for a pick six there to make it close.
And you know the ironic thing is he should have let the receiver catch it and then taken him down for the safety to get the ball back with a chance to maybe go score. I mean, in that moment, you're going to go take a pick six.
Yeah, and then just they were able to recover the onside kick, but Bethany had just recovered an onside kick. I mean, it wasn't out of the line to try to get two in a row. I mean, that was really what you had to do, and it just didn't work out, and then Hera was able to run out the clock. But it was a tough game, a close game. But with Blanchard losing to Ardmore, that just opens it up for still how this playoff picture can look for the Bethany Broncos.
So Ardmore beats Blanchard 33-25. They're 4-3 on the season, but 3-1 in district. We come in with an overall record of 3-4 and 2-2 in district. And so this game right here, Thursday night, again, it's not Friday night, it's Thursday, is a big time matchup. We were in the driver's seat. We kind of controlled our own destiny, and still to a certain degree, but it really depends upon this Thursday night. If something does not go our way, then it's really kind of out of our hands. We will need help from others. But right now, if we take care of business on Thursday against a really good Ardmore team, we'll still be back in the playoff hunt and in control of making it to the postseason. So we got a couple guests, and let's see what our time is right now. We're good. Just again, we're at Smoothie King here, having a great time with our coaches show. Anything else we kind of business-wise we need to make sure we mention?
I mean, you might have been on mute when they said that the game got switched to Thursday because of potential weather on Friday.
Yeah, the potential weather has moved the game. It is senior night that night as well. Mm-hmm. It's an important game for our seniors. We've got some youngins here. We got a junior and a sophomore with us. And let's go ahead and kind of bring them in for a minute here. We've got Mitchell Pace and X McGee. Is this not back-to-back weeks, X? Were you last week as well? Is this like 2 weeks in a row with you?
Yeah, I was last week.
I mean, gosh, you got a little star, a little shine to you, and you come back for a second week in a row, huh?
What happens?
Well, we're glad to have you. And Mitchell, we've had you on the show before. You also did a pregame interview before on the field there that we got to play at the game. So thank you for joining us. X, and since you're holding the mic, I'll start with you. Tell us your feelings about last Thursday night.
Disappointing. I mean, you get there, it's 43-45. You don't play perfectly, but you feel like you put yourself in position to win. It doesn't happen, which that's football. So you hope to win every time you step out there, and when that doesn't happen, that's always going to be upsetting.
Yeah. Did you think Hera was maybe after the game better than what you previously thought, or was it more we shot ourselves in the foot?
I think it was a combination of both. I think because historically Hera has not been very good, and then this year they were better, and then picks, fumbles, and bad times, that stuff doesn't help.
Yep.
And that's what we saw. I mean, most of it in the first half, at least, I think 14 of their points came off of, one off a fumble, one off an interception. So our waiter that night, we ate at a place there in Hera, and they were like, "When's the last time Hera beat Tuttle?" And we went Bethany. Back. Or yeah, when's the last time Hera beat Bethany? We went back like 10 years. We still couldn't find it, so we don't know when the last time Hera beat Bethany.
Is
62 years.
Mitchell's chiming in 62 years. I don't know if that's an accurate stat, but either way, it'd been a long time, but Hera got the job done. Mitchell, let's give you the mic for a second here. What was your feelings after that game?
Just like X said, disappointing. I think our offense played solid, and I think our defense I think we started off good, our defense, but at the end, we're not the most disciplined at the end, and that kind of cost us a little bit. They kind of ran the same 3 plays the second half, and we could not stop it. So we watched film on Sunday, got better from it. But yeah, just a little disappointing that the offense put us in the position to win. We're just going to get stops when we could.
Obviously, we've experienced a couple of losses on the season before this game. This one stung. It was close, and it's away. So on the bus ride home, is the team actually kind of on the bus ride, or are y'all with family? Do you split up that way? If you're all together, is it quiet? Is someone talking? Is there kind of encouragement, or are you just kind of like, hey, I got to sit on this one?
We all go back together as a team. Like, we'll talk to family on the field after, but we all go home on the bus. And sometimes against like Tuttle, we'd still like talk to each other, give each other encouragement, just like next week mentality already. But I think this one, it hit a little harder. So it's very quiet on the bus ride home. I mean, pretty much disappointment throughout the bus. Knowing again that we were in position to win and we just couldn't pull it off.
Let's pass it back to X, and we'll kind of put a bow on this game, and then we'll take a break. We'll talk about what's ahead of us because there's a lot of positive stuff still ahead. But before we look ahead, before we go to break, X, you're a young player. Your minutes have increased. Mitchell, your minutes have increased this year too, and some of that has been because we've had so many players bruised up, banged up, and of course everyone deals with that to a certain degree. But how much X would you put on, like, hey, we're just not full strength, and that was kind of the reason, or would you say there were other reasons that kind of led to this 2-point loss?
I mean, the getting bumps up like Jagger and Seth and Eli like during the game, that stuff doesn't help. But at the end of the day, that stuff happens to everybody. Like, even the hair quarterback went down, kept playing. You just got to play through that kind of stuff and hope you come out with a win.
So you said 15 carries this week, and I mean, you had most of the carries against Tuttle, but do you kind of feel like you've kind of stepped up into that running back 2? Like, because I think he only had 2 or 3 carries this week. You had the majority of them.
Yeah, I mean, we went out there, played good, and I feel like the game's definitely slowed down from what it used to be. So now it's not, everybody's flying around and I feel like I'm moving in slow motion. It's I can be out here. I'm proving myself. Yeah,
you've done great. But are you going to get a lot? Are you expecting kind of the same kind of workload this week?
I think it might go down a little bit with not being so much worried about Barron's hammy and keeping him fresh for defense, and so it might be a little more even this week, but should still be a decent amount.
Well, we'll talk about what's coming up again. The game is Thursday, and it's a big one. So we'll kind of set the stage for that after this break. But we are live here on the Bethany Broncos Coaches Show. Smoothie King, 3rd and MacArthur, Southwest 3rd and MacArthur. We're also on Facebook Live. Our audio might not be as strong on Facebook Live this evening, but we will make sure that's posted and fixed up for you. If you're on Facebook Live right now and you can't really hear us, you can go to thegospelstation.com, scroll till you see that sports and talk button, click it, and then you could actually stream the show and then watch us on Facebook. So you can see these young men and the coaches that we'll have here as well. The guys are making the coaches stand. This is kind of like their payback on them for all the hard work they've done, right? Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll set the stage for Ardmore, and that's Thursday night, and then we'll have our coaches. So y'all stay with us. We'll be back.
We are Integrity Heating, Air, and Plumbing, in business for over 40 years. We've provided top-notch service for every company and residential home in the area. Let's take a look inside and let you meet some people.
Hey, Blaine. Good morning. Here we have a part of our call center. This is Tina. That's Gabby. That's our general manager, BJ. Our office hours are from 7:30 to 7:30, Monday through Friday. And we do heating and air conditioning, plumbing and electrical. Give us a call. We always have specials. Our number one priority is your family, constant comfort and convenience. We offer 24-hour service.
And in order for us to do that, we fully stock everything here at our warehouse. Whether it's commercial or residential, we offer plumbing, heating and air, and electrical full services. All of our guys are licensed, we're bonded and insured.
Here at Integrity, we offer senior discounts, military discounts, and public service discounts.
You worked hard for us, so let us work hard for you.
Yeah, go Broncos.
Your home and your car are more than just things. They're where you make your memories, and they deserve the right protection. At Blake Nightingale State Farm Insurance, well, he gets it, and that's why he's there. For your home, life insurance, car, and more, call Blake Nightingale 405-728-1313. Blake Nightingale State Farm Insurance, 7304 Northwest Expressway. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there. State Farm Insurance.
Come see us down at Smoothie King. We have 2 amazing locations to serve you. 5914 Southeast 15th Street in Midwest City and 5921 Southwest 3rd Street, located right in the heart of Oklahoma City. Folks, we have the awesome Dude Perfect smoothie. We have wonderful enhancements to get you ready for your workout. Rule the day. Smoothie King is your one-stop shop for delicious smoothie action. Come see us at Smoothie King.
As the commercial said, come see us at Smoothie King, because that's where we are right now for the Bethany Broncos coaches show. John Hickman, John Campbell, J and J.
Did you get a smoothie?
I did. I got the angel food. That's my go-to smoothie here at Smoothie King. It kept me healthy through college and seminary. Anytime I felt a sniffle coming on, boy, I went to that. Actually, I'm kind of fibbing. They had one called the Immunity Builder back then too. So Angel Food, Immunity Builder, those are all really, really good. Did you get one?
I got the banana boat.
Okay, how's that going for you?
Good. It's just bananas. I mean, it's good.
Hey, that's a lot of potassium there. There's a lot of cramping going on our last game, so we need to get some of these banana boats or whatever to all the players. I saw like Weaver and Greiner; they seem to be cramping all the time, so we got to get them hooked up here. We also have some Taco Bueno. Thank you so much, Taco Bueno, for supplying us some tacos and burritos and enjoying that this evening. We got a couple of players with us. We got X McGee, Xavier McGee. He goes by X, and we've got Mitchell Hayes. X is holding the mic, so we'll keep it with you. You're kind of hogging it tonight. That's good. Yeah, the youngin saying, I want to do the talking. Big time matchup Thursday. Okay, how aware of it are you, and how's the team feeling?
Very aware. You must win. You want to host. You got to fight like a dog tonight. Thursday, if you want to win. If you want to host,
Okay,
And it's senior night. You got to get a win for those seniors.
especially.
That's so good. You know, sometimes in sports, some of the upperclassmen will kind of adopt an underclassman and say, "That's my rookie," or "That's my underclassman," kind of situation. Have any of the seniors kind of taken you under your wing? This is to X, by the way.
If I had to pick one, I'd say Seth, but I've been more with the juniors, if anybody.
Okay. There's not a ton of seniors, Seth, though, being one of them. And how nice would it be to get this win for them on senior night?
It'd be amazing.
All right, Mitchell, let's get you the mic here. We got a lot of X just said this is a must win. How are you feeling about Thursday night?
Feeling good. Again, it's a must win, and I think for the defense at least, have to be very disciplined this week because they run that veer offense. So a lot of triple option, a lot of motioning. So we have to do our job this week, only our job. So, but I'm feeling good. I've got the whole game plan down. I'm feeling good. Want to wait for the seniors too. Kind of as like a last home game. Senior night win. So yeah.
So the game plan has already been kind of implemented. The defensive playbook is in. You guys kind of are now focusing on your keys. What's going to be what's the key to stopping this option and this veer?
I think again, just everyone doing their job. Every single person doing their responsibility. Every play, not missing a rep. It's like my responsibility is going to be cutback and then quarterback. So let's say hypothetically I try to go for the fullback. They can have that touchdown run if I go for the fullback. So just doing your job every play, staying disciplined, focusing on your key only, and not trying to do your own thing.
So, yeah, one of the things, too, is I think that y'all usually do really well at is swarming to the ball. Like everybody, all 11's going to the ball. And it seemed like that didn't happen as much. They were breaking tackles a lot this week. Is that something y'all have discussed this week, or is that something y'all were Yeah. It seems like y'all have always done really well at that.
I think that's always a mentality every week. We call it blood sharks go in the water. Sharks go in the water in a pack, or whatever a group of sharks is called. But I think we did struggle in that. Last week, I think that showed the quarterback broke a lot of tackles. So this week, especially, just focusing on doing your job and then getting to the ball as fast as possible.
Let's go back to X here. X, Mitchell was talking about one of our potential keys to victory is to make sure we stop the run. Their defense is a pretty good run-stopping defense as well. So as you've kind of seen their defense, and maybe you're more focused on like, hey, if I'm getting the ball and I'm going to carry the rock, what have you noticed about their defense? And then the second part to that, is there any kind of ways to attack that defense?
I mean, you kind of have to, like, you can't change your identity for the offense. So, like, based on what they're going to do, you still have to play your brand of football. But really is attacking them through the air. I feel like we have a lot of talented receivers: Jagger, Seth, Damian, all these guys. So if they're going to be a really good run defense, make them cover.
I think that's how y'all got 45 points or 43 points this week, is that y'all spread it around a lot. And Seth got a couple big throws and Jagger got some big ones. So I think I think you're right. That's kind of what that's what was successfully for y'all this week. You haven't gotten in the end zone yet. So
way to remind him, John.
Is this the week?
Yeah, I'm always going to say yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now, do you remember what you're supposed to do when you score?
Big thumbs up.
Okay, and don't forget that, because it is going to happen. It was so close last game, and you played great. You had a huge minutes, did great. But we're going to get you in the end zone, and we need the big thumbs up, okay?
Yeah.
Bet. All right, everyone be looking for that, all right? And, of course, John will be announcing that and letting the world know that X scored. Now, you could throw up the X. I mean, that seems kind of cliche, though. But which one do you want? You want the X, like, hey, I'm the X Factor, I'm X McGee, or do you want to throw up the big thumbs up?
Big thumbs up. I haven't done the X since I was Little League.
So you used to do the X, though, didn't you?
Pee-wee.
Okay, all right. Now, was that after scores or big hits or what? Everything. You were just probably always throwing up that X, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So, Mitchell, you had a little bit of an injury this week, too.
Yeah.
How are you going into this game?
Yeah, so I kind of got helmeted or like cleated in the calf, like straight on the muscle right here. And I've struggled walking last weekend during fall break, but I'm just getting a ton of recovery on it. Ice baths, like I still talk about, for my whole body. And then I do like Normatec on my legs, like compression to help with that, but stretching a lot, and I think it's helped out, and I'll be good.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So, Mitchell, we're gonna have Coach Forrester on. Give me a Coach Forrester ism. Like, what is something that he usually does, or something that kind of sticks out about Coach Forrester?
Coach Forrester is always such a loving coach, such an encourager. But something he does, like every week, after we break up the huddle for walkthroughs, he always goes, "Hayes in the barn." We all like shout. So that's something he does.
Hayes in the barn?
So he says Hayes in the barn, and then you shout?
Yeah.
What do you shout?
Just shout. Just like, hey, yeah.
Okay, Hayes in the barn, and then you're supposed to actually shout, hey. Yeah. Okay. I hear that in class often he'll say, see ya, or something like that. Is that kind of his thing? Could you ever have him as a teacher?
No, I haven't, but maybe he does do that.
Okay.
See ya.
We'll have to ask him about that. All right, X. As we get out of here, give me an impression of Coach Arthur, like something whether he's going after an official or the team. What's something that is very Coach Arthur like?
Okay. Keep in mind he's throwing his hat while he's doing this.
You gotta have the visual. He's throwing his hat.
And probably a stomp or two.
Okay.
God dang it, official! How do you not see that? Right in front of your face.
Did I hear a southern accent with that, X? There was a little bit of a twang with that.
That was great.
So Coach Arthur gets a little country when he's going after the officials, and he throws.
Sounded like Hank Hill.
A stop. I've seen him kind of grab the hat. Does he actually let go of it? I feel like it's just kind of a swing of it. Okay. All right. Well, this is the Bethany Broncos coaches show. We will now get the coaches on after this break. We've had a good time here with Mitchell Pace and X-Man McGee, and they told you it is a must-win game Thursday night. So y'all pack the stadium. It's not Friday. It's Thursday. Of course, we'll be broadcasting it live. We'll have it for you, but we hope you actually get out to the stadium and you listen to it. You watch it with your own eyes there, but you still can listen to it.
Seems like it's going to be a great night Thursday night too. Weather-wise, it'll be a very nice night.
Yeah, the whole rain thing is kind of up in the air, literally. But we believe Friday's probably going to be the worst of it, and so Thursday hopefully might be a beautiful night for some football. But either way, you got to come out and support these Broncos with a big district matchup with Ardmore. Winner has got a good shot of being in control of their playoff, of getting into the playoffs. Loser's going to have a tough road, going to need some help. So we need you there Thursday night. Mitchell and X, thank you so much for joining us. Up next, we will have Coach Forrester himself, and we're live at Smoothie King having some Taco Bueno. We're kind of mix-matching the two, and we'll have a good time when we get back. Stay with us.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Riley, owner here at Victory Mattress Outlet, and my job is to help individuals get a quality night's sleep on our name brand mattresses for prices they can't afford. I have a great offer for you right now. If you go to this website, victorymattressoutlet.com/win, WIN, fill that form out, and you got a free coupon for a buy one mattress, get one 50% off. We look forward to seeing you. Have a great day.
Who's got the sauce? Zaxby's does. Come by Zaxby's Chicken Fingers and Buffalo Wings at 5859 Northwest Expressway and find out why Zaxby's is Oklahoma's go-to for great chicken meals. Zaxby's has the chicken fingers, the sandwiches, the wings, and the sauce that will leave your mouth watering. Now with the all-new lemon pepper line of meals. Late Night Zax introduces the Zappetizer Trio and keeps the drive-thru open after 8 p.m. So use the Zaxby's app to earn rewards, and remember that Zaxby's will cater your event. Head to 5859 Northwest Expressway or call 405-603-8190 to make your Zaxby's order now. 405-603-8190. Zaxby's.
Tanko Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing is a commercial and industrial contractor. They offer end-to-end client experience that includes seamless communication, budgeting, staffing, on-site organization, and it's solid quality handiwork every time. The past projects include both new construction and repairs and restoration. Occupied and fully operational job sites are never a problem. They can also plan, manage, and build multi-phase jobs. We are a turnkey plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and mechanical contractor. Tanko Company, give them a call at 405-255-7804. Again, that's 405-255-7804. Tanko.
Welcome back. Bethany Broncos Coaches Show. John and John here, Hickman and Campbell. We are live from Smoothie King 3rd and MacArthur. Also having some Taco Bueno. Thank you so much for providing that for us. Out of all the fast food Mexican restaurants, I'm always going to go Bueno.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's kind of, obviously Taco Mile sponsors us some too, which we probably, competitors. It's kind of a fun thing to have, but I'm a Bueno head. I'm going to go Bueno every time. So John here. We also have Coach John Arthur and then Adam Forrester. You're breaking the streak here, but we got Coach Forrester with us. Excited to have him. First time this year, not first time guest ever, but first time with us this year. Thank you so much for joining us, Coach.
No problem, guys. Yeah, appreciate you guys having us.
So you've got a Smoothie King bowl here. Tell me.
I got the acai bowl with peanut butter and bananas and strawberries. Very good.
But the Elvis Presley.
Yeah, that's true. He did love his peanut butter sandwiches, peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
With peanut butter, yeah,
bananas. That's right.
Yeah, that looks good. Is there a crunch type in there?
Yeah, there's a little bit of granola up in there too. So
sell it.
Yeah.
You got to sell it. It's commercial chance right here. Smoothie King might hire you.
Whipping them out back here. So it's pretty good.
Well, Coach, you've been with Bethany how long? It's been a long time here.
So yeah, I mean, my mom always says I attended my first Bethany football game when I was a month old. So my dad was the coach in '85 when I was born, and they made the playoffs that year. Had a good run that year.
Is he the head coach?
Yeah, he was.
In
yeah.
85.
In 85.
Wow, okay.
That's right. Yeah. So he did a couple stints as head coach. He was about head coach for about 8 years in the 80s, and then and then came back for a couple years in the late 90s as well. So
Okay.
yeah. So
When you were a young pup.
when I was a young pup, that's right. But yeah, I went to Bethany and graduated there, and then I've been teaching there since 08. So yeah, so I've been there quite a while. Yeah.
So you graduate from Bethany High School.
Yes.
And then go to college.
Yep.
Which one?
OU.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Boomer.
So,
And then you pretty much immediately after graduating there, you're back teaching?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a kind of a weird deal. Coach Arthur helped. Coach Arthur went to Southern Nazarene and played football there, but then he graduated in the winter and was able
he's so much older than you.
That's right. He is. I tell him that all the time. But he graduated. I had to go kind of another semester, but he was able to help Coach Broughton and Coach Roof at the time with the 07 season. And then it's kind of just a God opportunity for us both to come back to Bethany. There was 2 science positions open, and Coach Arthur taught biology and physics and still teaches physics to this day. And then I taught chemistry. There was a chemistry opening, so I've taught chemistry all those years, and then kind of helped with some other things along the way. But yeah, so we've been there ever since.
So is it like a real tight bond? You're like really good friends with Coach Arthur?
Yes, yeah, we know how each other think for sure.
Yeah.
And we kind of complement each other, I think, and it's always been we used to, I don't know who Drew plays it, but I know we were sitting in science class in 11th and 12th grade. I would pass over a play and when I drew up, and he would draw a defense, and I'd say, no way that defense is going to work on that.
Yeah.
He would always find a way to defend it. So we kind of had coaching in our blood. Coach Arthur's dad is a longtime coach at Southwest Christian. And then my dad being a coach for so long, we had a lot in common. Then it's kind of just stuck with us all these years. So
now, when you played at Bethany,
yes,
and what position did you play?
I was the offensive guard, and then defense.
Because he was on the line as well.
He was.
Now
Coach Arthur was the one. We had a great line while we were there in 03 and 02. We had a great running back and all that. So, but Coach Arthur was always the one had to remind some of our bigger guys that didn't remember the plays too well. Coach Arthur would say, "Okay, you block down, you reach, you go kick out. Okay, ready, break." And so Coach Arthur would try.
He's always coaching.
He was always coaching, even back then. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing though. Like you talk to a lot of football coaches, and they teach like driver's ed, or and you are chemistry and he's physics.
Yeah.
I mean that's just so unordinary out of a football coach.
Yep. So yeah, we've
good linemen in them. They're a different breed,
That's true. You got to be a little smarter, up front for sure.
Yeah.
Do you ever get competitive with one another?
I don't know. I think no, not necessarily, but we always know how to encourage each other. I think especially when things aren't going the way we planned, we always know hey, it's always better to lift you up rather than tear somebody down. So I think that's what we kind of fed off. In some of these seasons, we had a lot of great success, had a lot of good runs, but we had to overcome a lot of adversity, and the last couple of weeks is a great microcosm of that kind of. So I think we got a great opportunity ahead of us. So.
I like that. Well, let's talk about how we kind of got there Thursday night. A tough Hare team, that is they're not that wasn't a fluke. I mean, they're a good football team. They start off with a little pooch kick that we don't recover, and it kind of snowballed from there. But we rally at the end, and even though we threw an interception that pinned them at the 1. We almost had a chance to get a safety and then potentially a kickoff and then go for 2, and all that.
Yes.
So how mad were you that Eli Mars actually caught the touchdown pick 6 instead of let him catch it, tackle it, but take it to the ground?
There was a couple, there was a little talk in the headset. I was like, maybe we should have just tackled him in the end zone. But, in the heat of the moment, I think, got to give yourself a chance. We gave ourselves a chance at the end of the game. The ball bounces our way on one of the kickoffs that we get, and then, we have a chance to recover the second one too, so Coach Balik does a great job out there at Hera. You know, we've been playing Hera ever since I started coaching. You know, almost every year since '08, and they've gone through their ups and downs. But he's really built a good program down there, and they were facing some injuries too, and they found a way to win, and they found a way to compete, and our kids did too at the very end. It was just kind of one of those things that you just felt like whoever had the ball last was going to win. So.
Yeah,
one of those.
Yeah, that's kind of how we were looking at it. We were like, yeah, whoever has it at the end. What was? I mean, when the whistle blew, like what is y'all's message to the kids then?
I think we had a message. There was a point there where our kids could have given up. We were down, 21 or whatever points it was, and we said, hey, this thing's not over. We gotta, we always kind of keep in our back of the mind, like, hey, we either want to win by 15 or we don't want to lose by 15, right? We want to try to get those district points back. So we were like, hey, let's keep playing. Let's knock that down. Let's go see if we can score and maybe get some of those district points back. Even though, we want to win the game for sure, but we want to, stay competitive in the district race and all that. So I was really proud of our kids, and I know all the coaches were, of how we fought back to kind of put us in a situation where we're still, have a chance if we do what we can against Ardmore, and we kind of rally and have a good game there. We're still, everything's in front of us, like we just had everything in front of us. So you
mentioned district points. Explain to our audience the tiebreaker system, because that is key in this whole conversation.
It is, yeah. So with Tuttle, Tuttle is they're sitting in first place. They've played everybody up to now that they beat in our district, but you get a certain amount of points. You can get a maximum of 15. If you beat somebody by 15 points, you get 15 points for
if
your
they
district.
beat you by 72 or 69, it doesn't matter. It's just 15.
Doesn't matter. 15. Yeah, and it doesn't. You can't go over 15. You can't lose less than 15. What kind of puts our district in a unique situation is, since Medill forfeited a game against Tecumseh,
yes,
they're out of the mix. So nope, that game really doesn't count for anybody. So those 15 points that that Tecumseh got by the forfeit, they don't get those. So it's everybody's one less game when it comes to the district record, and it just throws in some unique situations. There could be 4 teams tied at the end of the year for second place, or there could be 2 teams tied. So it kind of goes to points. If it's 2 teams, it goes head to head. Who won that matchup, which is kind of what we want. If we end up where we want to, and beat Ardmore, we have a head to head win versus them. So that would help put us in that driver's seat for second place. So that's kind of what we're playing for, and that's what we've kind of been coaching up the kids this week too.
So if everybody has 2 losses, and then y'all have the 3-way tie or something, that it could be. I mean, I know we're doing hypotheticals here, and the points that they're the same. Like, how far does the tiebreaker go?
Yeah, so like if anytime there's more than 2 teams tied, it will go to those points. So we finished with a share of the district title back in, what was that, 2022 or 22, and we ended up going 4th. But we were a play away from getting first and there was a situation there where we could lose and still get better than what we got that year. So it's just it's hard to play into those scenarios, and we had, you got to win the games you can, and you got to take a win when you can, and you just kind of live with how it unfolds. So,
and maybe kind of help me put this in perspective. Overall, we're 3-4. We're 2-2 in district, and before the season started, especially with the youthfulness of our team, that would kind of feel about right. But when we beat Blanchard, and then in the driver's seat of the second seed, a home playoff game, probably going to the semifinals if things work out. Like we were talking to Coach Gonzalez last week and a couple other, like, hey, we're ahead of schedule. Like, we're really cooking. And then this one kind of humbles us and kind of puts us there. But overall, in the grand picture, where would you still say this team is?
I still think this team has a lot of potential. I think, there's a lot. It just goes to show you how deep 4A is. We got kind of, a clearer cut 1 and 2 with Elgin and Tuttle, but there's a lot of good teams right in the middle there, and they're all battling the same things. They're all battling injuries when they come. They're all battling different things as they come. So I think just keep playing. I think that's kind of been the essence of this team is, you can't get too high or too low with anything. You've got to just keep playing. And that's kind of what, in those that back and forth game against Blanchard, I think that helped us, we go up big and then they return the kick, and then we're right back to tie it again. And so I think, and then we're able to, edge that one out in the end. So I think, just the experience is key. We were talking today, I think, sometimes at times defensively we have maybe one starter that started last year, Brett,
which is crazy.
At some points, and probably the same number, maybe one or two on offense that played. So not only we don't have a lot of seniors, we have a lot of we have a small group of seniors that are very talented, but the amount of experience these younger players are getting is going to be really pay dividends in the coming seasons, I believe. So
I got one more, Campbell, and then if you've got one, Coach, you talking about the young players. Some of that has been due to injury, where they've had to really kind of step up, like McGee.
Yeah,
I don't know where he was necessarily on the depth chart coming in. You got clear cut Kiefer and Teehee, and then all of a sudden he's getting a lot of carries and performing well. I think on the defensive side, there's been a lot of young players come in and perform really well too. So who have you seen kind of really improve since maybe camp or even game one that you'd kind of like just to give a shout out and kind of give some of our audience, hey, these kids have really improved.
I think these two we had tonight are great examples. Xavier and Mitchell, were not on a lot of people's radar coming into the season, but they've worked hard. They're always one of the ones that know what to do. They're big film watchers, those two, and they've been really good playmakers for us at the JV level the last couple of years. So I think Mitchell has for sure. So I think just that experience and that has really helped both of these kids get to where they can, and just. We had some unknowns going into the season on the offensive and defensive lines, but like Sawyer Yates, he's been out a couple of games, but he really played well for us early. We're probably going to get him back this week. And Griffin Looper is another one that really stepped up. Didn't play a lot the last couple of years, but really has stepped up. Stoley Melton is another one. Ozzie Brown is another one. So those guys are all competing, and what's good with them is they're all kind of at the same age, they're younger linemen, and they compete well against each other. And today in practice it got kind of chippy a little bit just because people are fighting for spots, and I think that's good though when you can encourage some competition, and that brings out the best in all those kids. So
good, especially with a big game coming.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's good. I was going to ask about Sawyer if he was going to be okay this week, but is there? I mean. They said that Wyatt Kiefer is probably out one more week.
Yeah.
But is everybody else kind of back? There's a few that are out for the season, but
yeah. So, I think we're just going to continue. Nick Chafee, our trainer, does a real good job with all the kids, and I think we'll get slowly start getting some of those kids back. Wyatt, I think had some good news, and Eli Mars had some good news too. So, just. Realizing, it's a big game, but, realizing we have some backups that can step in and make plays, and a lot of this week is just kind of, bring your lunch pail on defense because you're going to be tackling, you're going to be doing the same thing over and over, tackling the dive back, watching the quarterback, going to the pitch man, on this flex bone that Ardmore runs. So I think it plays into the things that we have always done well at Bethany. We've always, at times we don't sometimes, but, we've always historically tackled well. We've always competed well. And we've, and most of the time we're not the biggest team around. We're not the biggest size team. And we made up for it because our kids play hard. So I don't think it's going to be any different this week. I think we're going to show up. So.
Coach Forrester, thank you so much for joining us here at Smoothie King on the Bethany Broncos Coaches Show. We'll have the main man, Coach Arthur, coming up after this break. But y'all stay with us because we're going to talk about the game coming up. It's a huge game, but also some amazing things that are happening off the field as well. So y'all stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Step up to the next level at Coyote Pond, home of the $20 FFL transfer. Coyote Pond at 5804 Northwest 63rd and MacArthur makes the difference in customer service with a selection of just about everything with top dollar loans and rock bottom prices. Locally owned and operated, Coyote Pond is the destination headquarters for Bethany, Yukon, and Oklahoma City, and the home of the $20 FFL transfers. Call 405-470-7999 or go to coyotepond.com. That's 405-470-7999 and coyotepond.com.
Stan's Plumbing is your locally owned, full-service, licensed, and bonded plumbing company, proudly serving the Oklahoma City Metro for over 30 years. Stan's provides all types of plumbing services like faucet and toilet repairs, sewer repair, and trenchless pipe replacement, water heater repair and installation, both tank and tankless, plus drain cleaning and jetting. All plumbers arrive with fully stocked trucks and can resolve your plumbing problems in a timely manner. Since 1988, Stan's Plumbing has held itself to a higher standard in plumbing. Call 405-721-5100 to schedule your appointment. Stan's Plumbing, Valley Service in a dirty business. 405-721-5100.
C&J Sporting Goods at 6604 Northwest 38th Street has been serving Bethany and the Metro for over 30 years, with 3 generations ready to serve you with the best shopping experience of product knowledge and customer service anywhere, with a wide selection of guns, ammo, ear and eye protection, law enforcement equipment, hunting, camping, and survival gear. If they don't have it, they will order it for you. Veteran owned and family operated. Call 405-789-8102. C&J Sporting Goods.
John Campbell is your local health market agent that specializes in Medicare. Instead of talking through an 800 number, talk face-to-face with your local agent, John Campbell, to answer all your questions and find the company that best fits your needs. John Campbell Health Market serves Yukon, Bethany, and the surrounding area and will travel across the state of Oklahoma to meet with you. Call John Campbell Health Markets at 405-200-8414. Call 405-200-8414.
Welcome back to the Bethany Broncos Coaches Show. John Hickman, John Campbell here live from Smoothie King 3rd and MacArthur. That's Southwest 3rd and MacArthur. Wendy! Hey, we give Wendy a shout out. Now she's going to look at us. That's right. Making some smoothies, having a good time here at Smoothie King. Come visit. Come hang out here. You probably haven't been to Smoothie King in a while, and you need to change that. Come to Smoothie King. It's a healthier option, and it's good.
I got the banana boat. It's great.
Angel food for me. That's my go-to smoothie. I need to kind of switch
they
it up.
Talk about the Dude Perfect smoothie.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what's all in it, but they talk about that one a lot.
Yeah. I mean, all kinds of things, from your greens to your fruits to even some peanut butter. Okay. They've got it here at Smoothie King. Also want to give a shout out to Taco Bueno. Not the healthiest of options. It's kind of a yin and yang thing, but every once in a while you got to have some good fast food Mexican as well. So Taco Bueno supplied to us, not just, we had smoothies, but that's kind of not the full meal. We also had some burritos and tacos as well. But thankful for all of our players and Coach Forrester for joining us. But now we've got the main man. We've got Coach Arthur. Coach, thank you so much, as always, for joining us. I want to go right to the lead. I don't want to bury the lead. I've kind of got inside information just because I'm a part of a church that I see a lot of your players attending services, and I am seeing so many of them saved and baptized, and I'm just hearing so many great things. In fact, there's a Bible study tonight with some of the guys, some of the players are involved with, and so I don't know how much you know, but could you share maybe some of the good things that are going on with this team that's kind of off the field?
It's been really great, couple of months with our guys, like you said. I know so many of them are plugged in to things like you mentioned tonight, and our FCA, Coach Pennington's actually our FCA guy at the high school. I know they've had some awesome events. We've got some of the kids that lead our own Bible study with them on Thursday nights, and so just all sorts of stuff going on. I know they have a couple of places, groups of them going Wednesday night that I think are just being great. And yeah, I've heard seen pictures and stories of guys getting baptized and all that. That's what it's all about. And just excited to see their relationships with each other have grown because of that. And so that's kind of the great deal about it.
Yeah, and for our audience, we're not talking about one or two. I mean, we're talking, I would say, potentially double digits. I don't know. I'm just, what I've seen and what I've heard is just phenomenal. And so these earthly things, hey, getting a victory, that's okay and good. But man, the life change in eternity, that's a big deal. So super proud of what's happening with our whole school. I don't know. There's a lot of good things happening there. You talked about serve being a word for the year, and as there's this kind of character and spiritual development happening, are you still kind of focusing on serve? And if so, what's happening on that front as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's become even more of a big deal for us, just with kind of some of the things we've been through injury wise and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of grabbing hold of that concept of being there. When people need you and when guys need you. Sometimes it's not always in an on the field kind of way. We always need that someone there for us, or need to be there for someone. And I think that goes right along with that serve concept that we've talked about. And so, yeah, I think, and it goes with what we talked about first. Those guys that are strengthening their faith, that goes right along with it. And so, excited to see them do that.
It's awesome. The adversity this team has faced has been ramped up, I think, to you don't want excuses, and every team kind of goes through things, but our team for sure has been dealing with a lot of injuries to key players. I would even say adversity to horrible officiating last game. I mean, there's all kinds of that crew should not be in the playoffs, and I doubt they will. But there's some rough stuff there. But do you see a light at the end of that tunnel? And please say it's Thursday night.
Well, I mean, you always try to see one, and I think sometimes, like we saw the other night, it's many of these games, like Coach Forster was saying, so many teams in our class are just good football programs. You're going to have a close game, like we've seen with Blanchard, like we've seen with Hera. You're going to have games like those. You're going to have another one this week, and the whole game is going to hinge on just a few plays, and you've got to make those plays when it's time, and that's kind of what we're looking at. I feel, Blanchard night, we played probably our best game of the year defensively. We obviously played really well offensively this last week.
300 yards for Brody McLaren, by the way. Give him props on that. That's just first game over 300.
Just got to put all that together at the same time, and that's some of that comes from youthfulness, and some of the defensive struggles this last week were just being able to adjust on the fly to stuff takes time and experience, and you have to be able to do that under pressure, and that's a learned skill, and so we'll get better at that.
All right. So how have they responded after Thursday night?
I mean, had a good couple days. I think they were. You were talking about the kids earlier. I mean, they're obviously disappointed with the whole deal, and that's part of. That's part of being involved in athletics. You have to deal with disappointment, and hopefully use it as fuel to get better and learn lessons from it. And we've done that several times this year. I think this one probably stung a little harder, just because it's a game where if we execute and do what we're capable of and not make the errors we did, we probably win the game. But that's part of the learning process, and you got to get better from that. And have had a couple good days of prep so far this week, and they seem to be locked in and ready to go.
The other thing is, what is Ardmore like? What are y'all expecting from them? Because we were shocked when we saw that they beat Blanchard last week. So obviously they have stepped up their game too from last year.
Yeah, I mean they're obviously they were a good football team last year. They were a little young themselves, and so they've got a pretty good group back. Anytime you're playing them, it's going to be it's certainly focusing on being disciplined on the defensive side, which is something we've got to grow in quite a bit this week. That's something we weren't great at this last week, and so that's something we've focused on. And they're going to run the flex bone, and those teams do what they do. They're going to make you be disciplined. They're going to run. They're going to run that triple option the old school way, and they do it well. They've got a quarterback that's a good runner. They're pitching it to guys that are explosive and quick, and they're going to stretch the field and throw some vertical routes to those guys too, just off the play actions. So being disciplined in keys and reads continues to be important, and so that's kind of that's obviously where they're going to be different than, most teams you're going to see. Is they're not in the 4 wide spread or anything like that doing it. They're going to be in this old style flex bone offense, and force you as a defense to play your responsibilities.
Yeah, last week they almost had 3 100-yard rushers. They did have one. The freshman comes in, runs for 104 yards. The quarterback obviously runs too. Their leading rusher is averaging about 85 yards per game. In that kind of option, do you as a defense want the quarterback to pitch more or keep more, or are you just following the keys? Or are you trying to force some action out of that?
We've played, obviously we've been doing this, 17, 18 years now, and played a good number of teams, that have done this. Mount St. Mary, many years ago was really, really good at it, and have played some other schools over the years that have done it. And now Ardmore, the key, what to remember about those teams is regardless of what you try to take away, they've got a plan to do something
to
get it to the other person. If you're going to take away the quarterback in the dive, which we did early in that game last year, and they got to the pitch pretty quick, and that was something we had to adjust on the fly with those guys last year down there. Make sure we were taking care of the pitch, and so it's really just a matter of making sure you've got a plan for all options, and you got to be able to switch your plan up a little bit because they're going to do the same.
Yeah. Well, on the offensive side, I had another kind of strategy question. It seems somewhere along the season, teams figured out we're going to put 2 wherever Breck Brady goes, and we're going to bracket him, and and then I've seen even sometimes Weaver or someone else will get double teamed, and they're just going 1-on-1 or loading the box. And Brody, as we mentioned, 300 yards this last game was great. I feel like he's really improved through the season. I've seen growth there, just decision making as well. But when specifically like you see Breck being doubled, which one's more advantageous? Let's just, hey, he's so talented. He did catch a touchdown over 2 defenders in that fourth quarter, or do we try to use him as a decoy and go away from that? Or just as you're thinking through the offense and probably going to see that again, how do you handle that?
I mean, I think you really, we've got a plan, and we'll kind of use both of those scenarios. So if we're going to split him out wide, and they are going to put 2 out there, that they're defending our other 10 guys with 9, and so we've got a numbers advantage there. Same thing if they're only putting. There's still times when he's going to make a play over that guy like he did last week, and so continue to use him. I think it's a little harder for them to, if he's lined up as a hand on the ground tight end, it's a little harder for them to double him or do something like that. And so again, you can draw some advantages for where you place him, but also if he's going to draw that much attention, we've got some other guys who can make plays for sure.
So this week it seemed like y'all were a lot of the games so far have been very run heavy, littler passing. Is that this week it was on? I don't know if it's 50-50, but it was a lot more balanced. Is that something just more confidence with Brody, or is that just something that y'all were like, we're going to do this against Hera?
Yeah, I mean a little bit of both. Brody's obviously improving. We're able to do a little more in the passing game than we have been, and I think it was really kind of just a situation. Hera at times was putting a good number of guys down in the box, and many several things of what we do are certainly run pass options where he's counting the box. Quite a bit of the quarterback run game is like that, and so if you see him running the football, he probably had a throw option at some point in there as well, and so he's counting. If we count the box and it's a 4-man box, we may be running the football. If it's a 6-man box, he's got a throw option there. So just kind of just able to progress a little bit in what we can do as he grows in that quarterback position.
Well, Seth had a great game too, and you've always said that. Last year y'all had Geisler, and so but Seth could have been that guy even last year, but I mean, I was so impressed with how he played this week with his catches and runs after the catch. Is there a little bit more to get the ball in his hands? I know y'all have tried it a lot in different ways this year too.
Yeah, I mean, love to get the ball to Seth. We need to keep him and Jagger from cramping this week. I'm not sure what happened in week 7 that hadn't happened through 6 weeks yet. That was something we've been talking about all week.
They need to visit Smoothie King and get the banana boat.
They may need to come down here because that's what we were saying. Those 2 guys have played hundreds and hundreds of snaps all year long and haven't seen a problem. And then all of a sudden in week 7 it is. So we'll certainly try to figure that out.
Jagger also looked like he kind of did he tweak his back or
I think
something?
I think there was a block in the back penalty early into the first quarter, second quarter at some point that got called, and he just kind of got speared in the back at that point. And so I think it was just kind of a situation that just kind of got him. He was a little sore from that throughout the night.
Yeah, he usually just pops back up, but he was getting up a lot slower.
Yeah,
the other night.
I don't mean to laugh, but that kid gets dinged up every game. Poor kid. He's in the mix a lot.
Yep.
Well, speaking of Jagger and Seth, Thursday night, senior night, if you could kind of put into words what this specific senior class has meant to you, Coach. I mean, you've had several over the years, but just this one in particular, what has this class meant to you?
Well, I think all you got to do is look at the attitude of our guys in our locker room, and it comes from those guys, and that's what they've brought as a they're all just positive guys, and go to work every day, and despite facing some adversity, and they're obviously guys, majority of them played a big role last year. There's just not many of them, and so they've all kind of been to that. They've been in the state semis, as we played there, and they've been a part of those teams, and they've been thrust into a role this year where now they got a bunch of guys younger than them that we're having to. They got to learn how to play, and they've got to learn how to make plays on a Friday night, and those guys have been great at just kind of understanding that that's going to happen and helping them where they can help, and haven't heard them complaining about any of that stuff one bit, and that's what's great about that group.
Yeah. Well, Thursday night is senior night. Coach Arthur, thank you so much for joining us. Also, Coach Forrester and Mitchell and X. So glad to have these Broncos with us tonight. But again, Thursday night we'll be live. 6:30 pregame show. 7:00 is kickoff, and Ardmore comes to our place on senior night. We need the victory. Y'all come support our Broncos. This has been the Broncos Coaches Show from Smoothie King 3rd and MacArthur. Having a great time here, but we're signing off. But we will see you Thursday night.